was in Batgirl, which unfortunately Warner Bros. Pulled. They just threw 90 million right into the shitter and canceled it right when it was done, basically. But he was Firefly in that movie. So he's coming back now. And the newest one is The Whale, which he just received that 6-minute standing ovation for. He's so sweet too, man. Like the interviews he's done over the last year or so have just been so great. Like look at this. He did one with like a TikTok star, and that's when he didn't like him, and he started tearing up about it. And he had support from random people. So sweet.
Crowd has settled into their seats. They are ready to see something special in this amazing video.
There's no cold corners. There's no making of excuses because you're going to be so
Just know that
transparent.
the internet is so behind you. We're so supportive. There are so many people out there who love you and we're rooting for you to see what you do next.
The discipline, the respect they have for each other because no one dare.
He's just so sweet. He's like just a giant fucking teddy bear. I love that guy. Yeah, he just seems like such a sweetheart. The movie He Talked to Animals was Dudley Do Right. We'll talk about that. Like, we pretend that didn't happen. I almost got to meet Brendan Fraser. He was in New York doing something, and we actually got invited out to, like, spend a day with Brendan Fraser. Kind of like something you would win at, like, an old Scholastic book fair if you got the golden ticket. And we were like, bet, we're in. We'll drive to New York tonight. And then as we were making our plans to, like, actually take them up on that, Brendan had something come up. Or he decided he didn't want fucking 4 lunatics who were willing to drop everything to New York, 18-hour drive, just to spend a few hours with him. Either one could have been true, honestly. No doubt it would have been a great day. His character in The Whale is named Charlie. I know, I saw that. That's so poetic, honestly. That's so cute. I'm his biggest fan. His biggest fan as my name. You couldn't draw it up any better. It's like a fucking prophecy. Doom Patrol is the only thing from Brendan Fraser I haven't seen, though. I have seen every single one of his movies. Doom Patrol is a show. And it's the only thing from Brendan that I haven't actually seen. All I love Encino Man. I still think about Encino Man from time to time. Look at Pauly Shore saying wheezing the juice, and then Brendan Fraser saying wheezing the juice for some reason pops into my head sometimes when I'm like eating ice cream. For no fucking reason. Like I've seen all of his movies so many times. I actually think that movie's amazing. One of the crazy cats, fucking Steve Buscemi and Fraser, and they bust into a radio studio for them to play their music because they're just a terribly shit band to hold them hostage. That's a great movie. His Twitter was wholesome as hell. I actually didn't know he had a Twitter. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not him on Twitter. Just a hunch. It seems like he's just now getting into like the social media and like interviews and stuff. I don't think he would have taken the plunge into the fucking cesspool of Twitter yet. That's probably like a PR team. But he was playing the Nintendo Switch not long ago, so who knows?
And they are delivering.
Just another beautifully wholesome Brendan Fraser clip, honestly. I think this was before another Zoom interview. But it's super cute because he has his name in the back of his Switch here. It's hard to see on the video right now, but he just has like the old style like label with Fraser on it. It's so good. What's he playing? Probably Splatoon. Fucking clapping cheeks in Splatoon. Or maybe Pokemon Unite. This was 2021. He might have been swiping his credit card just like I was, just to absolutely clap. Just fucking that game. A Brendan Fraser movie tier list? I did one already. Well, kind of. It wasn't like a full tier list. I did a breakdown of all of Brendan Fraser's best roles. I don't know what was going on today, but it looks like YouTube's algorithm found the Galaxy Gas because they recommended some very interesting videos to me today on the home page, and one of them caught my eye right away. I couldn't refuse clicking on it. It was called Bigfoot Farted in My Living Room. The video is 2 years old with 2.9 thousand views. I don't even know how YouTube found this in the archives to push it to me. But God bless them for it, because I truly believe that content like this is what YouTube is all about. This is the soul of the platform. Just a man and his camera telling a good old story about Bigfoot spreading his cheeks and laying a fucking stinky one in the living room. It comes from a gentleman named Stacy Hazlitt. I thought it was going to be like some kind of made-up silly story. Like the title, Bigfoot Farted in My Living Room, sounds like a children's story you read to them to get them to like settle down or eat their vegetables. Like, you better eat your vegetables or else Sasquatch is going to pay us a visit and do this and pee you and do that. It's a real story with his account of not only Bigfoot, but the entire Foot Clan that he is affiliated with, as well as a bit on Dogman. It's such a captivating story, and YouTube had a hard read on me today, knowing that I would be gripped by it. I've recently been on a paranormal binge where I've been doing like ghost hunts and investigations looking for irrefutable proof of spirits and all of that. Well, this right here is making me believe I gotta get out there and look for cryptids as well, because this needs to be thoroughly investigated. I want to be clear up front, I'm not making fun of him or trying to poke holes in him. Maybe Bigfoot really did come in there.
Yeah, let's talk about how he got his ass whooped.
Just letting loose a neurotoxin from his cheeks. I have no way of knowing. Now, I'm not personally a believer in Bigfoot or Dogman. I would love if they were real. Perhaps Stacy has evidence, but the point of this isn't like to make fun of him or anything like that. I just think it's a really fun story to play around with, and he tells it really well. It's just a riveting tale. And like I said, I just think this kind of content is the essence of what makes YouTube special. Just firing up the old webcam and just talking about a story that means something to you, just yapping about something that is special, or just having a good time, you know? Not everything needs to be this highly produced, highly monetized, optimized for mid-roll ads type content and shit. This is the kind of content that I just love. So, big hats off to Stacy for sharing this story.
This can be the loneliest place in the world.
Stacy has for the viewers.
Now we're gonna find out.
Sure.
Big shots from both
Killed.
fighters.
One of the shows that didn't make any sense and they couldn't figure out exactly
How can
the
you
killer
separate
was.
them? It's gonna be a hard
Anyway,
night
so that killed
tonight for the judges.
thing I said
Down goes Jones
the
Jr.
And they sent me a picture. Killed.
In 2 minutes, Stacy Hazlitt has accomplished what Rings of Power failed to do in 2 seasons. It got me invested. So, he's talking about another YouTube channel called Out Hunt, and in one of their segments, they must have had a picture of some kind of kill, and according to Stacy, that kill that they couldn't quite identify was Dogman. So he got his Dogman expert on the horn, Jack, to send him a picture of a confirmed Dogman kill so he could compare the evidence. This is kind of like Rick from Pawn Stars, where he's got like an expert for everything, it seems. So Jack is his Dogman, and he pulls up the picture of the confirmed Dogman kill.
More sure, dude. For sure.
What a knockdown. 1 minute, you need 1 hour to get over
And
the
it
shot.
brings up a picture of the confirmed Dogman execution. I don't think I can show you that picture, not because it's necessarily all that gory, but more so fear of the deep state, what they might do if the truth gets out.
See that thing showed a video one time of somebody took like a night vision picture of and attacking soldiers and killed a bunch of soldiers. And then the next day, they were the same video. I'm watching this. Here come the Bigfoot. They killed all the men. And you can see this in the video.
Stacy warns that dogmen are particularly violent, and then talks about the time that dogmen killed some soldiers and Bigfoot team came through and wiped out the dogmen. So there must be some kind of like power struggle between dogmen and Bigfoot. I don't know the exact relationship between these two clans. I don't really know the dynamic, but it sounds like some kind of plotline on a Warhammer 40k with like the fucking Imperium versus the Tyranid. This seems like a war that we wouldn't want to get mixed up in, getting sandwiched in the middle there would probably be certain death. I say treat it like Godzilla. Let him fight. And it does make me curious. What side of the Chupacabra on? A few years back, I made a banger tweet that said, the Chupacabra is real, it just fucked my grandpa. And while that may not have been a real story or anything, that was just a throwaway shitpost, it does make me wonder now, has a Chupacabra ever fucked someone? And that tweet been a bit insensitive. Food for thought. All I know for certain is, I'm not here to discount Stacey Hazlitt's beliefs on the Dogmen or Big Feet, and he references a video where he says that you can see the Dogmen allegedly killing soldiers and then Big Feet coming through and fucking clobbering the Dogmen. So I just need to try and find that video, which I haven't been able to yet.
One of those situations you've just been hurt, you've got to go out there again. Be smart, be sharp, don't be a fool, don't get sucked in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Soldiers are saying, man killed 4 guys and let one got away.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Sometimes when you get nervous, someone that's so powerful, it's not like thinking. You've just got to be smarter than him.
I gotta say, the Dogmen sound like real assholes. Like, of course it's not fun getting hit in the face with a rock. No one likes that. You know, you gotta be a real jerk to do something like that. But to go and slaughter 4 people in cold blood, that's such an overreaction, you know what I mean? Like, there was definitely a more civil way of handling that, and it just kind of gives all Dogmen, like, a bad rep. Because, as Stacey's saying, they now are viewed as more violent, you know? And now I guess Bigfoot has to come in there and fucking slap them around and put them back in line.
That's their part of their plan. Deal with me sometimes.
No, we don't.
Johnny comes to my house.
Gotta wake up, you've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
And I don't want to move technology around back there.
You can't face Senior X. Hurry your other hand.
Swing and a miss with the left hook.
Send and receive your things. Courier, now on Uber.
You know,
Very competitive.
they say that.
With 10
Eating dinner,
seconds left.
Johnny's sitting there at the table. He hears something saying, to Johnny, Johnny said, "Who said that?" No, he did nothing. The message for Johnny.
I didn't know Sasquatch was capable of telepathy. I mean, call me an ignorant buffoon, a silly Cro-Magnon for being unaware, but I have no clue that the Foots that function like Charles Xavier, able to like beam information into people's heads. That is a super strong and useful ability for them, I imagine, in order to like stay under the radar if they're able to get inside our heads. But he's talking now about his friend. So Stacey's had many encounters with the Foots. He's even accepted as a member of their clan. He's talking about how prevalent they used to be at his property, where they'd always be around, just kind of, you know, overdose on chill pills. Like, these dudes sound like they just chill hard as fuck. The Foots just kicking back, maybe enjoying a brewski or two. He talks about how some of them used to like to intermingle, but mainly they just kind of like to keep to themselves and I guess just kind of relax around the property.
This is with that jab.
Me and Johnny are really tight. And the Foots know that.
He just got countered.
They attached to Johnny a little bit. They took him. Johnny is always, they're around and Johnny knows it. He gets a little
Very competitive round here so far.
You know, he's
Skill for skill,
like
tap for tap. A
static or
match
something.
made in heaven.
He's out there and he'll be out in the yard and he'll sit there right beside somewhere else. He will hear somebody's stomach
Straight
growl.
right, just misses.
Like that. He's had a and like,
So we're not so different after all. Even the Foots get a case of the puppet nuts. So, again, I'm not really sure how the Foots really work anymore. I was always under the impression that Bigfoot was just kind of like this big monster man in the forest, real hairy and shit, and he likes beef jerky. But the way that Stacey describes the Foots make him sound like an actual like superhero. Well, kind of superhero. More in line like a DC Comics character. So, actually, not even. More like some kind of spiritual being, because he talks about how it attaches to Johnny. all the foots attached to Johnny. I don't know if he meant like physically, like they fucking lock arms with him and like go home with him, or more in like a metaphysical sense, where like their energy is now attached to Johnny. I guess I just don't really know for sure. The only thing I can be certain of here is that them bitches are farting, because apparently he's had that happen multiple times.
The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get
And the
knocked
Saturday,
out.
Cheryl and Josh were in the living room. The living room.
How about that time counter shot?
Each other,
He needs to put some combination work
Stay
together.
out and-
One punch is good, two punches better.
The living room.
Now don't panic. According to the comments, he answered a question and stated that the smell did not linger, so they didn't need to evacuate or anything. The misery was ephemeral. The fart came and it went. And the Foots, I bet, were having a big giggle about it, having a hearty belly laugh after farting in Stacy's living room. I think that's pretty impolite, especially given the history that Stacy has with the clan. But maybe again, I'm just not familiar with the customs of the Foots. So overall, I think it's just a really interesting story, and I just went on a really refreshing ride watching this video. So I wanted to share it with all of you and just kind of talk about it a little bit. I will probably get even deeper into cryptids than I already am. Most of you know I love cryptids. I've never gone on like a real cryptid hunt outside of like one time. We didn't even stay the entire night because of coyotes, but I would love to do more investigating on cryptids since I'm already taking the plunge into the paranormal as is. I think it's just a pretty natural progression of that. So I'll probably start doing
Easy win!
just kind of to jumpstart that passion. So big thanks to Stacy for sharing the story. Go check out his channel and wishing him the best. It's really about it. So yeah, Twitch chat is a place that has a horrible reputation online. People talk about Twitch chat like it's a place where common sense and rational thinking go to die. And I just want to set the record straight right now. But that's not entirely wrong. I am sometimes just blown away by the incomprehensible nonsense that I'll read from Twitch chat, and it makes me